Mayday, 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 Mayday.
Hello everybody. I wanted to make a quick video to try to explain my logic behind the intention of having a different bank account. So first and foremost, I need to say there is nothing that legally requires anybody to open another account. Nothing I've ever seen about that. The way I'm approaching this at this point in time is we need to do the best we can if we're trying to ensure the greatest opportunity for loan forgiveness to protect ourselves against the government and the SBA and the way these things and the banks are, I should say, and the banks and the way these things are going to play out. So what I mean by that, by taking the time, you've already set up the bank that you're going to have the money come funding into. Totally fine. My suggestion is when you get those documents that are saying, hey, you've been approved, you should be talking to your bank, say, awesome, great, wonderful, get that contract, read in there, find out if there's any written language that talks about loan forgiveness, that truly talks about it and lays it out. And if it does, please share it with everybody. Most likely it won't be in there. But while you're having the conversation, say, I'd like you to open me another account. So once you get it, you can take and transfer the funds that will go into your primary account, transfer the funds and put it into a separate account just for this. Now, if you do not already have a separate payroll account, then this is just a step forward for you anyways. Now, my intention of this, of course, is most people would say, you can't switch your payroll over. You're not going to be able to switch this over to make payments out of everything else. I'm not talking about any of that. Having the money in a separate account, and then anytime you're paying expenses from your primary account that's directly related to the PPP, transfer funds from one account to the other, should be instantaneous, for the exact same amount. The reason for doing that is it's to have a cleaner paper trail. So when this all comes down to the end, and when it comes down to who's going to be approved for loan for forgiveness, let's take away any opportunity they have to question any of this. This is also why, until we get better explanation as to how they will actually handle the calculation of full-time equivalent employees, like we don't know if we're talking, is it FTE 40 hours? Is it actually 30 hours? Or if we look at the minimum wage federally, in California, that wouldn't work. But if we look at it fairly times X number of hours, maybe it's X amount of money, we don't know. And there's too much variance in that to be able to tell for sure. Then if we also look at the idea of pay periods. So depending on when the money comes in, what happens if you are already halfway into your pay period? Do you have to break out and you only count the payroll for the portion that's in the 8 weeks? And then if your pay period ends halfway through again, now you're having to do these calculations. It's not necessary to do it this way. But again, if you're really trying to ensure that payroll forgiveness, you take away the ability for them to question it. So if you're getting this money and if you want it to be forgiven, isn't it worth setting up a separate account, then setting up a unique pay schedule? I strongly suggest having everybody have their employees sign off that they understand. The goal there is to eliminate any questions or concerns about overtime, but hey, maybe you need the money spent on overtime anyways. But by doing it and doing it weekly, it protects you from however they're going to change this, because we don't know. And I will make the claim right now, they're going to make changes on this, and I don't think we're going to be happy with it. So by doing these changes, my thought is this is the best way to protect our clients, to try to ensure that loan forgiveness is followed, because you are truly tracking to the specific letter of the bill what they're asking for. It will be extra work for accountants and bookkeepers. It absolutely will. But my gut tells me on this, if we don't do this, we're going to end up finding out that there's going to be a lot of loan forgiveness that's not forgiven. So again, these are my own opinions. I do not have factual information on this. I've never lived through it, just like nobody else has, but I hope it helps somebody out there. Thanks, guys.